Let's see. So we're going to go through recording, or sorry, this is going to be a summary of section 1.3, and we're going to talk about 1.3 really quickly. And this is I'm going to fast forward through the videos or the slides that we've seen already, and we're going to go to order of operations. What I want to do about order of operations is to point out a couple things. Order of operations really is for everyone to be able to communicate correctly. In other words, if all the people who are doing a math problem had different rules about which to solve first and which to simplify first, then everyone would get different answers. So we need to kind of communicate the math more consistently and make sure that everybody has the same answer. So in order to do that, we have kind of a series of steps that we need to do for expressions, equations, things like that. These are called the order of operations. So order of operations essentially says if I've got an expression or an equation, what do I do first? Well, step number 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all the steps. Essentially, these steps are what we need to remember. But there are a couple things to make this easier to remember. Step number 1 says simplify expressions within parentheses. So first thing we do is clear parentheses, work within parentheses to clear those out. Second thing is evaluate expressions involving exponents. So there's an E as well. And we're going to see that there's an acronym to help us remember this. Step 3 is perform multiplication or division from left to right. Step 4 is perform addition and subtraction, again from left to right. So a lot of people might say, you know what, put all these together, we've got something like this. PEMDAS, PEMDAS. Some people say they recognize this from earlier experiences. PEMDAS could be remembered as please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, or other things that you can come up with if you're creative. So that's the way probably a lot of people have seen it written. I prefer to write it this way: PEMD with an arrow, AS with an arrow, because you do the parentheses, you do exponents, and then multiplication and division left to right as you see them, addition, subtraction left to right as you see them. So now let's take a look at an example here, and remember we're taking a look at order of operations. So if I've got something like this, here's an expression. There's no equation because there's no equal sign, but we've got maybe one half of or one side of an equation, and it's called an expression. We're going to simplify that. How do we do that? We've got to follow the rules. PEMDAS, or PEMDAS, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So what we have to do is go over here and say, well, we've got an expression. How do we clear it out? How do we simplify it? How do we evaluate it? First of all, we look at the P. P stands for parentheses. Any parentheses up here we need to clear out? We don't. So then we go to the next step. And you don't need to necessarily do all these steps for each one, but I'm going to do this for explanatory purposes, just so we can see what's going on. We did the P for parentheses. E is for exponents. Because we've got an exponent here, we're going to change that down here, but what I do is I go through my expression and I say what isn't changing as well. 17 is not changing, minus 3 times 2 is not changing, and plus 2 squared is 4. 2 squared means 2 times 2, the base, times itself twice. So 2 times 2 is 4, 2 squared is 4, and now we've cleared out our exponents. And that's what changed here. So we don't have any more exponents here to clear out, so we go to multiplication and division left to right. So you write down MD left to right, and you again read this expression kind of like a sentence. And what didn't change? 17 did not change, minus, 3 times 2 did change. So 3 times 2 is 6, because again we're doing multiplication and division, clearing that out or simplifying that, evaluating that. Plus 4 did not change, so that didn't change because it's addition there. Now I've cleared out all of our multiplication and division, and we simply look to addition, subtraction, simplify that, again, left to right. The arrow means left to right. 17 minus 6 is 11, plus 4 is 15, and there's our answer. Everybody who follows the order of operations correctly should get that answer of 15. Alright, let's do one more. This one is okay, so let's try to do this one. And say again, we're going to do order of operations. If we're doing order of operations, we have to remember PEMDAS, P, E, M, D, A, S. Parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division left to right, addition, subtraction left to right. So let's see what we can do over here. Here's my P. Any parentheses to clear out? Nothing. So we go to the next one. Exponents to clear out. Any exponents to simplify? There's nothing here, no exponents. So now we do multiplication and division left to right. So the 25 minus this 25 is subtracted. Alright, sorry, this part of the expression is subtracted from that, so we don't simplify that. So 25 stays the same. And then we have to do subtract. What is this? 12 divided by 3 times 4. Well, here it's division and multiplication. And we do this, multiplication and division, all the multiplication and division left to right. So we see division first. So we do 12 divided by 3 is 4, times 4 is 16. And we've cleared out our multiplication and division. So now we do addition, subtraction, left to right. And now we've got 25 minus 16, 9, and that's our answer. Anybody who's doing this, who's working on that, who's following the order of operations, will get to the answer of 9. Alright, there's order of operations. Let's see, if we can take a look at this one, we can do it probably pretty quickly. Let's take a look at this monster and say, how do we clear that out? Well, let's see, how do we simplify that? How do we evaluate that, I guess? We've got a parentheses here. Anytime we've got a parentheses here, we've got actually two parentheses, these brackets, these square brackets, and the round brackets. We work from the inside out if we have anything like this. So I say, here's 28 minus, because that's subtraction. We're not even to subtraction yet. We're still clearing out parentheses. Again, we're doing PEMDAS. Parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. This is 2 times. We're not working on multiplication yet. Right here is multiplication. We're not working on multiplication to clear that out yet. First step we do though is right here. 6 minus 3. 6 minus 3 is 3 squared plus 4. And again, what we're trying to do is clear out this big parentheses. So we work from the inside out. Let's see, so we've cleared that out. So again, we're still working on clearing out that parentheses. So we're still working on the parentheses. And inside the parentheses is, again, a whole series of things we have to work with. Parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, all inside of here. So the next step we do is clear out this exponent. 28 minus didn't change. 2 times didn't change because, again, that's multiplication. 3 squared is what we have to simplify now. 3 squared is 9 plus 4. And now we're kind of to the parentheses here. We're simplifying the parentheses, this parentheses still. So we're still at parentheses, 28 minus 2 times 9 plus 4, 13. We could put brackets around it. And I try to, again, keep things in columns. Now that we've got parentheses all cleared out, the 13 is about as simplified as we can get it. So now we work to exponents. No exponents to clear out. Now we do multiplication and division left to right. 28 minus 2 times 13 is 26. And now we do addition, subtraction, left to right. And 28 minus 26 is 2, and there's our answer.